definitely needs to
And
go
he
down.
forged the papers for them.
He
Force.
definitely needs to go down.
So
For
here's another
certain.
question. Here's the big question. Here's the most magnificent question that we can ask, and it's going to get a little sticky, guys. So let's get it. What's the age of consent? What's the age to where you will feel comfortable saying that this person, whether male or female, can consent to any type of sexual act? Like, what's the age? I know in some states the legal age is about maybe 16 or 17. But
Now, are
what do
you
you
asking
feel?
us for our personal opinion, or are you asking us like
Yeah, your
legally?
personal. I'm asking. Well, we can research the legal
I
aspect, but I'm
want to
saying
say the age of
personally.
consent is like, I think depending on what, personally,
18.
I feel
Is
like
it 18?
It's 18.
18. I feel like at 18.
You
I
feel like,
Some
or
states is
you?
lower though.
It's
Yeah,
like
some places
16,
is
No,
16 in
17.
some
I
states.
personally feel like at 18 years old, that should be the at 18. I feel like that's a reasonable age to be able to consent.
I'm gonna go with
It's,
21.
the girl said
I'm gonna go with
21.
21. I'm
21?
gonna go with 21. I am
Well,
gonna go with
Trash
21.
Can Wave says when you're the age that you can die for your country. So that's about 18, 19.
That's
About
18.
18.
That's
Okay.
18.
That's
So,
18.
That's the legal age that you can make your own decisions concerning your life legally.
Yeah, you can vote, you can buy cigarettes. You can't buy no alcohol legally, but you can do everything else.
Yeah.
but Tori, you said 21. So don't
I
back up
I
on
did,
that.
no, I'm not backing up on it. I only say 21 because I feel like that's when a, a child has lived enough past the legal age to have experienced things legally for themselves. That's why I say 21. Um, Now, at the age of 18, some are more, mature than others. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say for me, I feel like after I was able to make conscious legal decisions for myself after I turned 18, and once I turned 21, I had not all of it, but a good idea of about how morally things are supposed to go. And if I want to choose to apply my moral value and those things that were instilled in me as a child, I'm able to develop, my own moral conscience pretty much on my own.
So, okay, so you say, just to clarify, you said 21. You
21.
said 21, and Mo, what you say?
I didn't say anything. Oh, I was saying I feel like 18. Me personally, I feel like
18?
18 is a good age of consent.
Okay, Naomi the homie, talk to me.
I say about 18, 19.
Guys, I'm going to shock you.
Oh gosh.
I'm gonna say,
What you gonna say? 25?
but I have no. I'm gonna have to have a disclaimer on this. You're gonna have to let me explain.
Shit, this nigga's like 16.
I'm gonna say 16. I'm gonna say 16.
Well, 16,
Yes.
you can legally divorce yourself from your parents if that's what you want to do. So, I
But
mean,
also at 16, you can work. So you
yes,
mean to
you can.
tell me that you can work a job, you can do, because again, when you can work a job, that's the first step of you becoming self-sufficient, right? Because you can earn your own wages, you're beginning your work history. Yeah, I mean, you're not comparing a 16-year-old to a 30-year-old as far as like work history, right? Okay, fair enough. But you're starting your work history, you're making money. I mean, if a kid is 16 working at Chick-fil-A for $15 an hour, he's making more than some grown folk, right?
Right.
So you're old enough to work and make your own money. You're old enough to make that decision. I think the age of consent, I think it's okay at 16 or 17. Now, the disclaimer is, how old is the person for which you're having sex with? That's the disclaimer, because I feel like age of consent should have a disclaimer. It should have a what's the word I'm looking for? A stipulation. I
Okay.
feel like the age of consent should be 16, with the stipulation that the person that you consent to should be no more than 5 years older than you.
I don't
And
even
if
know
it's
if I would say 5 years.
Yeah, that's a reach
Yeah.
for me.
how's that a reach? The
Because
person's
you're still,
21.
that's still, at 21, you're completely legal. At 16,
Right.
you're not.
I
You're
understand
not.
that. I understand
I feel like if you're saying the age, okay, so if the age of sentence is 16, I feel like maybe a 2-year stipulation, because at least that person is only 18. They're still 18,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe 19. That's still
Two or
a teen.
Do we-
two or
But I
three
feel like
years.
once you get out of that teen range, it's an issue.
I feel like this.
That part.
I feel like
Like
I feel like-
black suit.
I
Yeah,
feel like
I'm with that.
I'm with that too, actually, because only reason I say 5 years is because how much of a stipulation is it for a 16-year-old to date an 18-year-old? Like, what is that?
But they're in the same age bracket. They're born in the same decade.
Correct.
They have a
but
little
you,
more in common.
But you don't need a stipulation
Mhm.
for that. This is what I'm saying. It's like I don't need to write in the bylaws must be at least 2 years older than the person, because a 16-year-old dating an 18-year-old, God forbid, having sex with an 18-year-old is, I mean, there's nothing to write about. They're so close in age that you really don't need a stipulation. But I say 21-year-olds because, if you're looking at it from strictly biology, a 16-year-old versus a 21-year-old, biologically, like, there's not really that much difference. Legally, there's all the difference in the world. And let's be honest, at 16, 17, they're out there drinking. They're out there smoking. They're out there doing all the stuff that we're telling them not to. So I feel that if you make the legal age 21, it almost acts as a deterrent, because it's like, well, I can legally mess with someone that's 21 years old. There's no longer that desire to want to date so much older, because, I mean, okay, no one's going to bat an eye. But it's a slippery slope, though. I get that. It's a slippery slope. What does Black Belt in a Black Suit say? He says, once I hit 21, I did not date anyone younger than me. Once I hit 25, I did not date anyone more than 2 years younger than me. My code is stricter than legality. And that's
Honestly,
respectable.
the appetite just changes. You know,
You
what I'm
speaking
saying?
as a woman. It's
Appetite
different.
just changes. Well, clearly, because last week we talked about Homeboy and his desires.